Welcome to a new episode of the City Gents. You got me, King Javon. You got my boy here, Santiago, Patrick, the great one. You see him looking with his chin up, hey, like he just stepped in the room and he did the best thing in there. I like that shirt though, bro.
I appreciate it. Que lo que, everyone. ¿Cómo estás? It's your boy, Santiago. So before anybody, especially who has it off, who can see on YouTube, this ain't no real Gucci shirt. It wasn't meant to be no real Gucci shirt. So I don't want nothing in the comment section. It ain't real Gucci. It's just a shirt that looked like Gucci that I didn't even think about when I bought it. But hey, somebody brought it to my attention. I was like, oh shoot, yeah, but this ain't no real Gucci shirt. I just want to make sure I clear that
I
up.
didn't even know that. I was just like, I like the shirt, man.
Yeah, it's a nice shirt because when I bought it, I wasn't even thinking about it until somebody brought it. I was like, oh, that looks like a Gucci shirt. I'm like, what? Oh,
Interesting.
it is. Well, I just want, you know how people be in the comment section, bro.
Yeah, that's what I was like, by way of checking in. I guess they like, hey, man, you all right, bro? What you doing wearing this? But it is what it is.
Yeah, because, you know, that was right after the height of, I had the shirt for a little bit of a minute, you know, with the whole lip, like, character thing that they did with their mask. It was at the height of that. So people were saying, how you gonna wear Gucci, you know, with all this? And I said, oh, we're supposed to be mad for 2 or 3 weeks this time, 4 weeks, because you know I'm sure people still shop at H&M. that shouldn't. And Timberland and Tommy Hilfiger, who said he wouldn't have made his clothes if he knew black people were gonna wear it. You know, there's just a lot of people who said a lot of racist stuff, and a lot of us still wear their stuff. So I don't want to
It's
hear
what it is. I mean,
it is
hey,
what it is. It ain't me. I ain't spending no money on it, so it ain't my business.
hey, man, it is what it is. But by way of real check-in, man, let's get to the episode. How you been doing, brother?
Good, bro. Good. I got, like as usual, I got stuff in the pipeline. Just, you know, realizing, you know, some decisions you made and that may have been hard were the right decisions for me. So, you know, that's where I'm at, bro. I'm just, growing every day, improving my Spanish uh, daily and everything like that to the point where I want to become, you know, fluent in it. What
Yeah,
about you, bro?
yeah, man. Things are always in the pipeline for all of us, I guess, in a sense. Especially, you know, the circle that you're in. If one person's got stuff going, they can push the next person. That's what they say, right? Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, things have been pretty well, man. I'm just, hey, enjoying life, enjoying the opportunity, and realizing like every day is a blessing in different ways. And just enjoying the experience. I mean, this has been an interesting year for all of us,
Yeah.
um, especially
Already.
when I started working from home and getting back to normal now and stuff like that. I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean, it's 3 months in January we had the Capitol riots. In
yeah,
February we had the Gorilla Glue Girl.
yeah,
And in March, we got the relationship guru, the king of simps, the panderer to women, the no accountability. It's always the man's fault guru. Derrick Jaxn got caught up in a cheating scandal, bruh.
what, bruh?
Yeah. And it's only
He definitely
March,
couldn't have did that, man. That's not him, man. That's not his character. He would never do something like that, bruh.
bruh. Like that Chicago or the Arizona coach said when he was like, the Bears are exactly who we thought we thought they were. Derrick Jaxn is exactly who I thought he was. And I know I'm not the only one who wasn't really like surprised. It might have been shocked that it came out, but not really surprised that
What
that's
you
what he
mean by
was
that, then,
doing.
bruh? Like, come on. What you
Because for
mean by
me,
this,
bro,
man?
for me, and this may be wrong, this may be a little bit of a taxi way to think that I gotta grow past. But for me, when somebody's always talking about, you know, essentially what he was doing, pandering to women and making it as if they didn't have to keep no accountability. I think at one point, you know, there's some of his videos do be hidden. They make sense, you know, but because it's him, I don't want to hear what you got to say. And and what I mean by that is he was trying too hard. I mean, that was his niche. That was his bag. He found a niche to it. He was growing this. I can't be mad at Buddy for securing the bag in that sense. The problem lies is where you portray yourself to be a man that you're not.
Okay.
It'd be different if he was just being real with it. Like sometimes I slip up, sometimes I do this or whatever. I mean, nobody's gonna really come out in the public and say I be cheating, except Future. But even Future had better excuses than this man did. And we're gonna get to that in a second. But that's pretty much what I mean by that, bruh. Is it always rubs myself, and I'm sure with other people, it rubs the wrong way when somebody is trying to be too perfect. Like, what are you hiding? Like, what is it? What is it that you're hiding?
That's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like man, I don't know. I watched the guy's videos a few times. I didn't get too much into him, but I watched like enough of his content where I was like, I don't know about this guy. I mean, it was almost like he was trying to over please somebody,
Yeah.
like
Pandering. Yeah.
yeah, it was like he wanted to, and it was like some guys would agree with him, but I'm like the target audience that he's not doing it for you as men, he's doing it for women, and that's not like, I mean, the content is the content, we all read the content. He did have some content for men and different things like that, but his main content was always actually, should he text, like I seen something like he had posted before, like, should you be texting him back? Like, it's always like what a woman shouldn't or should be doing. I'm just like, just make content for everybody. Like, what is this
And
about?
if and you know what, I personally actually I get where you're coming from to make it inclusive, but everybody's target audience is different. So if he was targeting women, I have no issue with that. There's women.
But then they talk about telling men to step up.
Yeah,
I agree.
but see, that's where I'm going. Like, so there's women on YouTube who cater their subject and their knowledge to men, to red flags to look at. But the difference between even them versus how Derrick Jaxn came across was they didn't pander to men. Like, yo, look out for this, but if you don't come to me because I told you what to watch out for, because this would so their content, for me, it wasn't an issue that he chose to direct his contact to women, which even if you look at it even further, some people would say, Black women specifically is where he was, or minority women in general is where he was definitely directing his contact to, which is cool. But a lot of the videos was just pandering to this way of lack of accountability, and it's always the woman's fault, because the man, the man's fault, because even Abba and Preach, shout out to them. They even pulled up at one point Derrick Jaxn arguing with Derrick Jaxn himself. He would contradict himself in videos. And I get people grow and their mindset may change. I ain't knocking that. Right. But these videos were like a few months apart. Like, bruh.
That's exactly what I mean. Like the amount of ridiculousness. I'm like, hey man, I don't care about you like talking about like when it comes to like women.
So I keep getting tagged in this viral meme.
Stuff like that that he did. But even if I pulled up some of his videos right now, things your man will not let you do. Why men smarten up when it's too late? I'm like, all right, that's fair. I get I get where you coming from, but bruh, like then you will go on to like trying to say like telling men what they should or shouldn't be doing at times in certain videos. I'm like, I get your target audience and who you want to be, but at the same time, it's like, don't sit here and try to like bash like men because you want to be pleased like by women. I mean, I get it's a marketing scheme. We all like marketing, but bruh, like you can't try to give people advice on things that you're not even doing yourself.
And that's what it's for those of you who watched with us as a guests on the Peace Spot podcast. If you haven't checked it out, please, they have a wonderful podcast. Great two women who are grinding, or they're making the names for themselves. So if you haven't checked out their podcast, definitely do. But that's one thing I was saying. Even with that, it's a double standard, because it's okay to blame men for this and that, but the second you get to the point, and this isn't true for all women. I wouldn't dare put all women in this category, but a lot of women can't take accountability, like true accountability. It's always, I did this because you did that. Mm-hmm. Are you a child or a grown woman? because that tit for tat thing is what children do.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
Derrick Jaxn helped to perpetuate that level of lack of accountability, or inability to take accountability, because the way he phrased a lot of things, and he knew what he was doing, it didn't allow a lot of women to really see what they need to prove on themselves. And I wouldn't say all his videos were like that, but 90% of the content, and to be fair, I haven't watched all of his videos. I don't have that type of time to put that type of junk in my spirit. And I say junk because it's just my opinion. It's junk.
But it's not made for you though, bro.
Yeah, that's why it's junk to me. Like, it's just my opinion. I'm not knocking anybody else if they have a different perspective. That's my opinion on it. For me, though, like the way he was going about it and the way he was saying things and phrasing things, I was just like, yo, you're not helping the issue with society. You're actually making worse. Because I kid you not, when I was dating and stuff, there was 2 women who referred to Derrick Jaxn and as like reasons why I should do this. And I was like, nah, I don't listen to that man. I don't follow him because he goofy.
So you mad that he made it hard on you though? So that's what you said, bro.
I'm mad because he made it hard on all of us, because it wasn't like he was even given a playbook most of the time. He was just saying stuff to say it. Like, oh, a man comes back because he realized that's not true all the time. Why are you speaking for all men? It's just like people who speak for all women. I'm sure women that disagree, so don't speak for me, which I agree with it. And that's why I said it's the way he says stuff, the way he phrases it, not necessarily everything he said, because it's his content, it's his channel, it's his, bag. He could say, things what he wants, but the way he said it it just perpetuate that culture of lack of accountability.
Yeah, I think that's the issue that I also have, even when I think of like right now, when I'm thinking of the whole, I mean, we all do mistakes. Let me say it that way.
Yeah, of course.
We all do mistakes. But man, like it's parts like that this man literally was saying like he's been making content like this for like 9 years. I mean,
Yeah.
so you've been making content for like this for 9 years, but then you recently like did this situation? I mean,
nah, he been cheating. This wasn't no recent thing. He just got caught.
We'll call it him in his situationships.
Oh no! Oh, we'll pull it. It was an entanglement. I didn't cheat.
Right.
A duck is still a duck, even if I call it a cow.
Right. I mean, we got this going on, but then I'm like, you still making content, but it's kind of like somebody saying like, in this podcast that we've been doing, I think of even us, we've talked about our past, but where we're going. We know we may like stumble, but we can sit here and admit that, like, bruh, you only admitted this because you got caught. Like somebody exposed you.
And that's the difference between, I'll say, grown people, because I do know women who can't take accountability for what they've done, or not in a sense that they're blaming the other person, but, just having a conversation with their significant other. And even us, the difference is with us, and we're going to play the clip and kind of, walk through this in just a second here. He blamed God for him cheating. The man said, I gave my life to Jesus and my life fell apart. Bro, what God you serving, man? My guy, and you cheating on your wife? Well, it wasn't like cheating, because we were trying to figure out what we were. So why are you going on live so much? Why are you having her come on the thing to hold your hand while you gorilla grip her hand from walking away from you? Bro, you saw how tight he was grabbing her hand. Like, why are you doing all that if you're not guilty? I get clearing your name to an extent, but you're doing the most right now, my guy.
Yeah, he had to make it. Well, I mean, you got to make it look good, Pat.
It's making it look good, and it's making yourself look more guilty. And I can tell you, people who be chirping up the most and talking usually are guilty, because you get to a point after you said what you said need to do to clear your name, you're not going to try to clear your name. I think he did 3 different live streams or whatever about it.
Hey, man, this man was going through it.
Let's get into it.
All right, we about to play this clip. We're going to skip around a little bit because we don't want y'all to have to deal with too much of it. So we're going to skip around a little bit to get y'all I do want to point out this one part that I found that was very interesting. I'm sure Santiago know it, and he probably gonna comment on it too. Even when the man was getting caught in a situation, he asked his wife like, "Hey, do you want to say something about it?" He even did his hands like this. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like, what is
Did
your
you
wife?
see her face, bro? We're gonna talk about her facial expression and what that means.
Yeah, let's get to it. Let me pull this up for y'all real quick. Let me pull it up. All right, so let's get to it.
In our own healing, in our own marital oneness, and now this is being made public to you guys, so we're bringing that forth to you guys to let you know where we're at with that. Did you want to say?
Yes, so I do want to just add that I agree with what you just said. There is no justification for bringing other women into our marriage on any level.
Yeah, shake his head. Yeah.
It's unacceptable, and it's not something that I tolerate or that we tolerate moving forward. And when I've been flooded again with messages and these things and about, I need to leave or why haven't I left? And the answer is when I found out about it, I left. I did not hesitate or waste time to do so. And I stayed gone no matter how many times he came. I stayed gone and stood firm on I am not coming back. And I did not come back until I seen a shift and a change in his mentality and how he carried himself and how he presented himself and
Pause it.
conversations that we were able to have.
Okay.
Let's get to this, man.
Yeah, and usually, to be fair, y'all, usually we don't care about celebrities or anything like that or what they do. We really don't. I think this is only the second time we cover some scandal because, I mean, it's a lot of reasons. We're men. We don't care about gossip. But this one is different for a couple different reasons.
Respect to Patrick's heart.
You said what?
Hey, this one's special to Santiago Hart.
Yes, because I told you, man, I've been saying this before this came out for months. Some don't sit right with this man with me because he pandered too much. And I've seen guys like him. I've seen it. I haven't been as bad as him, but I've been close to that when I was in my days of not, having self-respect and self-worth for my own self. So I would be susceptible to any woman who gave me the time of day. You feel me?
Yeah.
But see, I can admit that. And but here's the thing with that. And if you can pay attention to her body language, bro,
I need to watch the YouTube to see what we're talking about.
Yeah, watch the YouTube video. You'll see the screenshot. Look at her body language. She's close to him because he got her hand all the way like across his lap. Like, where are you going? She don't want to be that close to him, and she might be supporting him, for whatever reason. I'm not knocking her for that. I think a lot of people they tend to forget that feelings are involved when it comes to that.
Yeah.
And we don't know the intricacies of the relationship outside of what we know. So we're a lot of us, what I don't like, and this might even, especially with her being a sister, there's two things that I heard people saying that I didn't like. One was there's a couple of people saying, one specific YouTuber, I forgot his name, saying, oh, well, Derrick Jaxn is 6'4", he's built. He could have done better looks-wise than the woman he chose. I didn't like that because I'm like, that's who he wanted. Who are you to tell what preference to him? I really, that's what my man's wanted. What you meant? And I say my man's very loosely. He ain't my man's at all. But it's what the man's wanted, Also, the other thing I didn't like is the people, as she said herself, telling her to leave, telling her what to do, telling her how to handle her business. She is a grown woman capable of making her own choices. If she believes that they can work it out and make it work, that's cool. Who am I or who is anybody else to tell somebody how to handle their relationship? I don't pay no bills in their house. They don't know my name. I don't live in the house. At the same time, though, her face says enough. I mean, she in a bonnet, she probably comfortable. She gonna do one or two things that she has. She gonna cheat on her own, and he ain't gonna find about it unless she want him to find out. Or she just gonna she gonna slowly pull away emotionally even more into the point where she's strong enough to leave.
Hmm.
And that's what I think people forget about is that there are women who are very, very they are very smart with it. And what I mean by that is they're gonna set themselves up until they're into the place where they can leave. I'm not saying she's gonna do that, but I'm saying her face, I done seen that face on sisters before, and it's usually I got something for you.
Interesting, brother. I gotta think about that one. I gotta think about that one. The face of, but I did notice that she was in that bonnet. And that was like, that's when. Hey, I don't know too many women, especially minority women, that wear their bonnet when they know that they're about to get a bunch of views. Like that's when you know you exhausted mentally, emotionally, physically. Like
Exactly.
you don't just wear no bonnet.
And the thing I don't like or I agree with at all, never would be this whole if you're separated, it's not cheating. If you're legally married, still legally separated, I don't know how I feel about that one specifically. But if you're like, oh, I'm separated and we're kind of figuring out, y'all should be going to figure it out in counseling.
Hmm.
So for me, and again, this is just how I think about it. Everybody's free to have their own opinion or perspective. I'm not here to tell you you're wrong or you're right for the way you think. I'm just saying for me, if you're still married legally and you're separated and you're sleeping with other people, that's still just cheating. That's how I see
I,
it.
would- I guess I would agree, especially like if I don't know the dynamics, so I want to be mindful of the dynamics of their relationship because I'm not in it.
Oh, I mean, just generally, not
Yeah, I
specifically
know.
just with
I'm,
them.
yeah, I'm just talking about when it comes to them. That it's like the thought of it is, how do you, if you're trying to get your wife back and communicate with your wife, how are you still dealing with other people?
And that's what I don't get because a lot of people get separated for really the one or two reasons. Two, if they can really try to figure out how to navigate life outside of each other. And what I mean by that, they're still planning on getting divorced, but they're taking these baby steps so it's not so hurt. It doesn't hurt on both sides. I've seen people do it that way. So that part I kind of actually do agree with you with the dynamic of where the end goal is. But if your end goal is to be like you said, Derrick Jaxn, to get your wife back, why are you messing with other women?
Hello.
It's the same thing with Jada's situation. If your thing was to figure out your happiness and stuff, why are you messing with a kid essentially?
What you mean the entanglement?
Yeah, that entanglement
Oh,
situation.
that's what you're talking about.
Yeah. So if your thing was to, as Will, like I said, you were gonna figure out what made you happy and figure out yourself and stuff, and we're gonna come back together. If that was the goal, why are you messing with a kid? And people
Because
always like to throw, I got needs, bruh. I, y'all, you need some self-control.
it's that discipline that people don't have, and that's the biggest problem. Like people don't want to accept the fact that they don't want to discipline themselves. I mean, in and out of a relationship. I mean, cheating is wrong all the way around. I mean, but then when you get married, you don't spend your life with somebody. Like that's a whole nother level of like, I mean, a commitment to the point of like, bro, you could have just lost everything, and this woman seems like she's still here for you, even though you done took her through the ringers to some degree. You know what I mean? Like, but if she wasn't married, who was to say that she would or would not? I mean, I don't know, because it would be easier for her to leave the situation.
Yeah. And she's probably thinking about all that. I don't know if they have kids together or anything. Like I said, I don't really know much about them. I don't believe they do. But there's also one thing too I want to note. Again, watch the YouTube video. We'll play the rest of the clip as well after this. Is he's being way too agreeable. If you see how he's shaking his head and yeah, that is also dangerous too. And if people can pick up on that, they're gonna have the dynamic of the relationship in their hands. And what I mean by that is he's gonna be trying to do everything because he's gonna be in the doghouse and eggshells essentially. Again, I don't know when this actually occurred and transpired, but also and I'm not here to say what I'm just gonna keep it a ban. If you know somebody is married and they're like, oh, I'm separated, blah, blah, blah. This is my wife's stuff. She's leaving the house. If they still referring to her or him as my wife or husband, you don't even need to be involved in that mess.
Yeah. And it's crazy because you say that, not to cut you off, Pat.
No, you good. Go ahead.
You say that in one of his videos, he made a whole video, and I remember it. I'm not even going to play it today, but look it up. He made a whole video for the audience and listeners and viewers. He made a whole video about not dealing with somebody who is separated from their wife.
Yeah, he did.
For women. For women.
For women. And I can't necessarily blame the other woman that was involved, because maybe she really thought that they were separated. I wasn't privy to any of those conversations. Or maybe she knew the dynamic and she just wanted 15 minutes of fame. Who knows? But, you know, text messages, all that came out. This man, it's just, if you caught, brother, just be 100. He, you know, we were smoking weed and getting high on a yacht, but there was no sex. We had like a sexual, non-sexual relationship. I'm like, bro, you sound like Future. Like Future got better, like toxic lines than that, my guy. So, and then the thing that just did it for me was when he was like, I gave my life to God, like I said earlier, and my life fell apart.
The other thing is, I don't know if like a lot of people have caught this. We're not gonna play the whole video, but if y'all do watch the whole videos or his other videos or when he's talking about this, he refers to himself almost in a third person, as if like he separated who he is from the situation. Like that's dangerous. And like from a mental standpoint, that you can just separate yourself and say like, hey, this person, Derrick Jaxn, or when he says himself, like he'll refer to his name instead of like I. Like that's a part of that accountability. Like, bro.
Yeah, and he didn't have that. And you know why he doesn't have accountability? True accountability, because he's blaming God, he's blaming everybody else, but really himself. And if you really pay attention to how, like you said, how he phrases the video, he can't tell people to be accountable because he himself does not know how to be accountable.
Yeah, let's get back into it then. We'll get back into that video so y'all can hear what we're talking about. We know we've been talking a little bit, but gotta give y'all a little bit of something. Here we go.
That we had never been able to have in just 12 years of knowing each other. When we were able to have these dialogues, said, okay, Lord, this is something that you've had your hand on. And this was with me being completely removed from his life. And him pursuing God, continuing to pursue God, and continuing to eliminate these things that led up to the catastrophe that you guys are seeing for the first time. So there's nothing out there right now that is information that I don't know about or haven't known about. And so this is not something that is new. We have moved forward from it. We have gotten counsel for it and continue to do so. He is still continuing to pursue God and continuing to seek guidance and wise counsel from men of God. And that is what I needed for the continuation of me being present in this marriage and to stand by his side. So today, where I'm at is at peace, and I proudly stand by his side, and I have no hesitation, I have no hurt, no shame about that. And it's only because of the grace of God and the mercy of God. And we have already turned a new chapter in this story. We are continuing to move forward, and we are just now sharing that with you all. And I forgave him, and most importantly, God has first forgiven him, and I also forgive the others as well. And with that,
the others, I thought it was just one.
That's all I have.
And I get it. Some of y'all, like, this may come as a huge shock, probably a huge disappointment. I let a lot of you down. If you've had a perspective shift on who Derrick is, hopefully it's away from anything remotely close to perfection. And it's simply that, I am a human, and that does not justify anything that I did. But I don't want anybody out there to be putting me on a pedestal. If you did,
pause it.
That may not get you cause that.
Look, like he got a real one for real. If you, that is one thing I did want to know. Well, I don't really care too much about, but that is one thing I was wondering is when did the situation actually happen? Because it felt like it was old news for them and new for us.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a lack of payment. Maybe she was trying to extort them.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she wanted 15 minutes of fame. Who knows why she the
Exactly.
girl who exposed him. You know, I don't really care that much. What I will say, gentlemen and ladies alike, y'all got up. So this is to everybody. So if you mad, the shoe fits, lace it up and wear it. Stop making excuses for you being selfish and making the decision to step out on your marriage or relationship. If you're not happy with that person and you try to communicate that, I know because I've tried to make excuses. If you try to communicate that and it's not working, you have two choices. Either y'all can seek professional help or you just leave. But you're seeking, guidance or, seeking whatever you're not getting out of the relationship from somebody else does nothing but paint a different picture of yourself and it hurts the other person as well. And then if it's a tit for tat thing, you cheated, so I'm a cheater, you did this and you had that. And you have people like Brittany Reiner, I think that's the name is, oh girl who, always around.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be respectful. The girl who been with a lot of athletes, I put it that way. She even said, like, if you want to secure the bag, just sleep with athletes because they stupid. They don't be using condoms. So it's stuff like that. When you get to a certain status in life, you have to carry and be mindful of what you're doing because there's always looking for somebody on an easy come up, and you don't want anybody to help tarnish your brand. And the thing that I took issue with the I'm human, I don't want you guys to put me on a pedestal. Why weren't your videos like this to begin with? Because the way you talked, you made it seem like as if you weren't, you wouldn't step out on your wife. You made it seem like it was all other men, but you were the anomaly to men. You were the one that stood out. And that's one issue I have. You can help people, you can help different genders without pandering to them. And he's trying to secure his brand back, which I don't blame him. That's his bag. That's what he's trying to get. And I don't think I want to start off by saying too, I don't think this is going to affect him either. If anything, I think this is going to help him in the long run.
Yeah,
It's
you're
going to
gonna
make
just
him,
rebrand it.
yeah, it's going to make him look human. He's going to be able to rebrand this in order to probably make even stupid amount of money than he is right now. I don't think this is going to hurt him at all. If anything, as hard it is to believe, because this is just a society we live in. They like drama, they like that. I mean, we're talking about it, but not for the reasons people think we are.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I think, and I'll say this last piece and let you go. And then you have people with this 80-20 rule. What is it? Chloe Bailey made a song 80-20 or whatever, and she pretty much was saying, oh, you're only going to get this much from this man, so you get this other part from somebody else, your side cat, your side dude. You feel me? That's the issue with relationships nowadays. Everybody's looking for something else from somebody else rather than fixing with the person that went. And men do it as well. That's why a lot of us like listening to Future and all that stuff too. But this was the same girl, unless it was a twin sister, that was crying and saying, oh, about the whole busted challenge thing. And now you over here talking about, oh yeah, it's okay to have a side dude. Like I don't want to hear your nonsense. Go in the corner somewhere. But that's the problem with a lot of relationships and how they're viewed now is that everybody needs a side dude because you're not gonna, or a side chick because you're not gonna get everything you want from the person you're with.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think that we've gotten to a point in this society where people are confused about like who they are and like what they want. Like they're going into relationships. Like I mean, he just was saying like people putting him into like pedestals or if they were doing this or that. But at the same time, it's like you presenting yourself as them.
Exactly.
You didn't say like, "Hey, I made flaws. Hey, I, like confessing some of your things. I mean, even 5 days ago, when I look at I don't know when some of them videos were recorded, but you've been posting videos until this got caught of the similar type of caliber of content. And again, I don't know when you may record those. He may record those videos, but at the same time, you have been still posting content until this came out the same type of way. I mean, when did you not realize this? Like I think that's what it's like. Do people really know who they are? I mean, it's one thing I do know that people can easily be adaptable in a sense. Like,
Of course, yeah.
you can put and present yourself as a certain type of way. Like, I mean, like radio shows do it all the time. I mean, actors do it all the time. So I get that part of it, but these videos are for you that you present or anybody presents. Like, if you're putting out content, like part of it is about being like this type of content. I'm saying that he's trying to do self-help. Present yourself as if like you made mistakes too. Relationships aren't perfect. You're not the perfect guy there. I mean, and even in relationships, like be upfront with your partner. If you like Santiago was just saying, if you're not happy, if you're not content in the situation you're in, communicate that with the individuals. Let them know that you're not happy and like what you and that person needs. If that takes like y'all have to go to like counseling, some people do it, or if y'all have to start writing down like, hey, this is like what I need from you. What do you need from me? Those type of communications of like is important. That's the problem. Like people don't always communicate their frustrations, etc. in relationships anymore. People just be like, all right, well, I'm just gonna get something on the side. Like, I mean, that's unfortunate. Not everything like that, but a lot of things have come where the lack of communication, the lack of people even knowing who they are. I mean, we see it all the time nowadays. With like dating is trash. Like people not even secure within themselves but want to jump in relationships and be able to like be with somebody and say that they want all these things, but then jump in and out.
Exactly. And I want to touch a little bit more on that perspective as far as like not coming off perfect. I believe that's why a lot of people have problems with people in different religious groups, especially Christianity, because they come off as and it relates to this, they come off as they don't do anything wrong. But I can tell you this, I know people that were cheating in the church, serving God on Sunday and serving somebody else's husband Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
So, or somebody else's wife. So I understand that it needs to come across to where you show people that you're human. You show your humanity. People like that. They like when you're relatable, not when you act like nothing affects you. And that's one thing that I know we're even strive to do more. Like, yo, we made these mistakes. We did this. We've done that. So we understand where it is at, but this is how you can get past them and get through them. Because I'll be the first one to say I'm not perfect at all. I definitely did some manipulative stuff. I've did some deceitful things.
Yeah.
I've did some of the wrong things. I treated some of the best women terribly when I was in my toxic stage. And then, karma came in, it came in.
Did what it did.
Did what it did, and even scales. So it is also just, you said it great, having those conversations with your partner, but being able to receive that too. If your partner has an issue and you say, oh, you can come talk to me on anything, and this goes for both men and women, if they do, and then you throw it in their face or you're dismissive about it, they're not going to want to talk to you about it. So they're not going to want to leave you. So the only option is just to get some on the side. So what I would say to all of y'all, if you're going through that with your relationships, intimate relationships, even family and friends, just be real, set those boundaries, because this isn't, pertaining to just relationships with a significant other. This is just any relationships in which you feel like you're not getting, like you're pouring from an empty cup.
Yeah.
I really do encourage all of y'all to set those boundaries, because when you do, first of all, the people who need to drop, they're going to drop like flies on their own. And it's not your fault for setting these newfound boundaries with this new self-worth that you have for yourself.
I agree completely, man. I appreciate you throwing that tidbit in there as well. Follow up. Well, we done had another great episode. I mean, I still like that shirt. even though it's not Gucci.
It's not Gucci, but yeah, it's a nice shirt, bro.
Yeah.
I've been lifting too. I'm getting ready for summer. I'm about to act a fool.
This guy. Yeah, we'll see. No, I'm just kidding.
Nah, I'm over here joking, man. I'm committed to this vow of celibacy, bro. I ain't gonna act a fool.
Proud of you on that mission and journey. Well, I don't think I got much else, man. I think we done hit it over the head.
Yeah, bro. We ain't gotta talk about it. You don't gotta make no lengthy thing. We got our perspective
Yeah,
off.
that's what I was just thinking. The only thing I got left is like follow us on YouTube, subscribe. I mean, after you watch this video, subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube or if you just listen to the audio content, go on YouTube, subscribe so you can be able to start watching and seeing our reactions and seeing a video of this. How you find us though is the City Gents. It's on YouTube. We usually pop up very quickly. Somehow we in the algorithm already. I don't know, man. Also, go on Instagram and find us, the City Gents Podcast, 847, as well as any other like social media, Facebook, Twitter. We haven't got there yet, but we probably do a Twitter. Get y'all going.
Yeah, we probably need a Twitter. That's probably gonna help. Everything happens on Twitter. It's not true if it's not on Twitter. So.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like. But follow us on the different social medias that we do.
Not doing no TikTok though.
Yeah, we're not doing that. No.
Yeah, we don't do that. I just can't. I don't care if that's just a good. I know I talked about it before, but I just can't.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Nah. I mean, maybe one of you all can like start recording us on TikTok, and then y'all can do the content for us. But
yeah,
we ain't doing it ourselves.
We ain't doing that. I'm telling you right now, TikTok not going on my phone. No Chinese app. Nah, bro. Nope.
Hey, it is what it is. As I said.
It is what it is. It's staying on the Apple Store for me. I'm not.
I don't got it on mine either. I don't plan on it. So this has been the City Gents, and it's till next time, folks.